Hey there, everybody. Just checking to see if people can hear me.
Hi, Rod. Rod, there's a little bit of a technical issue, sir. What's happening is, tech doesn't always cooperate. So YouTube may not be cooperating because we are posting all of our meetings on YouTube. Are you okay if our host cannot figure it out? We'll run the meeting as per schedule at 6:30, but what we will do is he'll upload it to YouTube later. So that's the option. So either way, it will be on YouTube. That's okay with you. The only thing is it won't be running YouTube live as the meeting is happening.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, so then we'll start on whenever you're ready. We're just waiting for Amy to come in.
Okay. Yeah, we've got we've got a couple of minutes. So yeah, my main thing is I often don't have my microphone working, so I wanted to make sure that somebody could hear me and all that jazz. So
Okay.
we're all good.
Okay.
I'm actually going to step away for a second and I'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Lawrence, that post is just for a minute. I'm going to leave and come back in.
Okay, let's see what happens. Thank you.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
Can you make me the host again, Florence?
Uh,
Let me see if
I
can
did.
reclaim it. I got
Thanks.
it.
Did you say not good or good?
I said good, thanks.
Oh.
Marie, there's a event going on in my office, so
Oh,
you
have
don't hear,
fun.
do you? No, I'm sitting in this meeting, but do you hear it in the background?
No,
Otherwise, I'll have to find another room. Okay.
no,
good.
no, sounds good.
Okay, cool. Hi, Florence.
Hi, Florence.
Hi,
You're
Rod.
muted. You're muted.
my husband is using electrical equipment outside. I'm trying to keep it quiet.
Is he a DJ?
He's blowing leaves.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that it's electrical and not gas. I think you may know that there's legislation in the city council to ban gas-powered leaf blowers.
Hooray.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for joining. And is Mark, are you present? Can you
Mark
give us
is Mark is our tech host. Mark, I
Oh,
have
okay.
you as Mark, I have
Great.
you as host. Are you okay now? Can you do your work?
Yeah, we still can't get on YouTube. We're recording it. So
Okay, fine. So are we being recorded now? Can the chair start the meeting?
yes.
Okay,
Great.
Mr. Chair, you can start the meeting.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Rod Townsend. I'm the chair of this committee, and I will try to keep this brief and efficient. There were some concerns that our bylaws may not reflect some changes that were in the city charter. I have done a review of that, and I encourage all of you to review it as well, just to see if you find anything not to be in compliance. I did not see none. I did find it a good reason to still come together as a committee because we have not done so in the past. The purpose of our committee is to help the board as a whole to interpret and understand bylaws and rules and anything regarding to legal or legislation, and we do so by interpreting. And sometimes we will have a sidebar during a meeting to discuss these sorts of things when there's confusion. Recently, we did a little sidebar about quorum. We have done sidebars regarding elections, etc. Our committee also is very useful when we have board elections and anything related to Robert's Rules of Order or interpretation of the bylaws. Our bylaws are publicly posted on the CB1 website, and if you're not familiar with them there, you can download them from there. It's good to have a general knowledge of them. We did do a complete bylaw rehash about 4 years ago, which was led by John Katsanos, who was then a chair of the Consumer Affairs Committee, but also is a very smart legal mind, and he is actually a judge now. So knowing that the bylaws have been vetted and made quite effective compared to what we had in the past, it should be something that is good to know for everyone. There is an issue in the bylaws that I did ask Florence to investigate along with Marie. I wanted to discuss with someone at Borough Hall the legal statements regarding the term limits of our board officers. It is not specifically stated in there exactly how and when someone can be on an officer position. However, we investigate that further. But before I jump into that, and that's going to be the main part of our conversation, I just wanted to quickly go through, because there are a couple of new members to the board that I would just like to say hello to and do brief introductions. Again, my name is Rod Townsend. I have been on the board, I believe, since 2016 or so. And I have served in various capacities, and I'm now your chair for the Legal, Legislative, and Bylaw Committee. Could I ask that the others introduce themselves just briefly? Amy, maybe you could
Should
lead?
I go next?
Yeah,
Hi, Amy Howe. I'm currently first vice chair, and I believe, Maria, I've been first vice chair this is the second year. And I joined the board, probably about a dozen years ago. And I'm a longtime resident of Long Island City, and have been on the land use committee as well as the Parks and Recreation Committee for many years. Marie, you're next.
Oh, thank you, Amy. And I actually think you're on the board more than you think, longer than you think. Anyway, Marie Torniali, currently chair of CB1. In Astoria, I wasn't born and bred, but I love Astoria. I live in the neighborhood. I also work for the Central Astoria LDC and the Steinway bid. And anything we can do to make Astoria better is my motto. Denshin, you're next.
Hi, I think I'm a familiar face. I don't say a lot, but this is my second year. I think this is one of the smaller communities, so I'm happy to listen in and kind of contribute as much as I can. I think I'm on the other, supposedly the other committee got canceled as well. I think there was a meeting about business and economic development.
Got
I think I'm
canceled.
yeah, I was looking forward to that one too. So in short, second year, committee. I actually enjoy it. It's not boring at all for me, just listening in and all the ups and the lows. So I actually really enjoy it. So and then a little bit about myself. I'm on the edge of the border for CB1. As some of you may know, I'm on like closer to 30th Ave and the QB Express. So I'm on that edge.
That's great.
I actually, yeah, so that's just me. Yeah.
And I don't know who the other person is on
Who's
the line.
calling
who's
in
going-
917-877 so I can change your name? Are you a resident listening in or are you an elected official's office? 917-877. Who's calling in, please? Please identify.
Yes, hi. My name is Rob Bettiga, and I'm just a resident listening in.
Welcome. All right. We'll put you back on mute. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us.
Sure.
I think Evie just got on.
Hi, Evie. We're just doing brief introductions, how long you've been on the board, where you are in the neighborhood, anything just in general, because we don't all know each other all that well.
You want me to go now or are
Yep,
we?
you're the last one.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Yeah, I was waiting for a bit. So I'm Evie Hansopoulos. I've been on the board since 2010. I'm the third vice chair, I think. And I live in the Broadway 33rd area. My day job is at the Queens Botanical Garden.
Great. So Abby, I told everyone else, basically, I did do a review of the bylaws and asked a few other legal heads to look at the bylaws in comparison to changes in the city charter to make sure that the change to the term limits for board membership were not in any disagreement with the bylaws. None were found for that, but there was another issue that was questioned on here regarding the term limits of board officers because of some non-specific wording regarding the term limits. I have that in front, we all have that in front of us, actually, that particular section. Marie, do you want to read the section that we were discussing? Or Florence, could you actually highlight it?
And I think we were discussing, where did we go? No board officer, including not limited to the board chairperson, shall serve as such for more than 3 consecutive 2-year terms. So you and I discussed, this is not clear whether, for example, just picking your name, Evie, your third vice chair. If you're term limited, which I don't think you are, but if you were to be term limited, are you term limited in your position or on the executive board?
And
This is what
because
we
that
have to
wasn't
make
typed-
clear. In other words, could you instead say, oh, I would rather be secretary and decide to run for that? That's what's not clear here.
And because that isn't tightly worded, there was some concern of the legal interpretation thereof. I am very much in favor of letting people move from one position to another and did not want to limit if someone wanted to ascend on the board or maybe step back from the chair or first vice chair role. I wanted to make sure that the legal interpretation thereof would allow them to do so and not prevent someone who wanted to serve their community in such a way. I asked Florence to approach the legal counsel of the Queensborough President's Office to ask for their interpretation of this. Florence did have a phone conversation with Alan Swisher, who is the legal counsel for the board for the Queensborough President's Office. Florence, could you tell us what Alan shared or his interpretation of this?
So Alan reviewed all of our bylaws, went over Article 7, terms number 3, A and B. He stated as is, I'll use Evie because you used Evie, Debbie's third vice president, I believe she said. So if she wanted to become first vice president, there is nothing in this bylaws that would prevent her from becoming first vice president. So if Amy wanted to become sergeant of arms and her term limits were up, there is nothing in this article that would prevent Amy after her term limit of being first vice chair to move to sergeant at arms. There's nothing indicated here that would stop that. There is no official reason for it to be challenged.
The only thing that it does limit is if you wanted to be sergeant of arms, you are limited to be sergeant at arms for 3 two-year terms, nothing beyond that. So I had considered changing the wording of the bylaws, but I really don't feel that that's a necessary move, given that we have legal acceptance of people being able to move around positions. So that was the main purpose of the meeting, other than introducing ourselves to each other and talking about the purpose of the committee, which is to help the board as a whole, again, help the board as a whole interpret bylaws, understand any legal issues or other types of things. Does anyone else have any concerns or feel a need to do anything additional to this? With this?
Nope. I love no change. I love it.
Yes. But because it was an issue and because we've never met as a committee, I felt it important that we do
Yes,
so.
absolutely.
And you know, as I mentioned, Abby, I don't think you weren't here yet, but this committee will occasionally be called upon during election times or when something needs interpretation of Robert's Rules of Order or what have you. I didn't really do my intro all that well. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal expert, but I have been chairing meetings since with Robert's Rules of Order since 1984, which makes me an old person, but hey, I run circles around younger people, and that's for the record. With that, unless anyone has anything else or any other concerns regarding bylaws or questions regarding the committee, I saw a hand up. Was that you, Florence?
That's
No, it's
Amy.
Amy,
Okay.
Amy Howe. Hi, so this may be silly ask, but I'm just wondering if within the executive board or, you know, on the slate, whether we should have, because I'm always, you know, I have no memory of anything. It would be nice to have like maybe a class of, you know, after each person's name, so we know how many years we've already been, you know, serving as this role. Is that something that we can
Want
put
me to
together, you
send
think?
that to you? If I can find it, I will. That's
Oh, you have it? That'd be great. I'd love to
well,
see it
it's
because
kind of
something for us to keep
Yeah.
track of. Yeah.
I can't, yeah, I can give you, I think I can.
Okay.
I have your terms. I definitely have your terms on the board, how long each of you have been on the board,
Okay.
because I've been here before most of you. It's very
Yes.
few of you who are on the board who were here before me. But I can go through the old attendance sheets
Oh, what do
and
you want? I'm
view
sorry, Amy.
by
What
the
do you want to
executive
know?
board. She wants how long it.
No,
I
Richard,
think
but
you're on the
even-
exec, Evie came after
Yeah,
Amy
right,
on the
yeah,
right.
executive. So I think you're gonna be 2 years, Evie, and you're
Okay.
gonna be 4,
Okay.
I
But I
think.
can give you, I can go
But
through
we
the,
can look at the minutes of that election meeting.
Yeah.
you don't even
Yeah.
have to, it's easier. Just, I'll go through the old, what's the name? How do I say it in English?
Just a quick cheat sheet, you
No,
know,
for the
so like
form,
for us
this,
to know.
who
Yeah,
has it?
exactly.
All I have to do is go into the archive. But I'm not in the office. I'm working remotely. I have a broken foot.
Okay. No,
need a
no
little time.
rush, no rush.
I'll get
It's
to
just something
before the
for good
elections.
reference.
Yeah, I
Thank
should
you.
be, I don't see a problem.
Okay. Anything else from
Okay.
anyone?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this, Rod.
I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Motion.
adjourn.
Second, yeah.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thanks, Rod.
Have a good
Thank you
evening.
for
Take
your
care.
service. I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Good to end, Florence? You're muted. You're muted. Shake your head, yes or no.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
No worries. Have a good night.
You too. Best meeting ever, huh?
Pretty good.